What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another edition of the Dominique Podcast. We in here, my guest trying to log in. You know how this social media thing kind of go, this internet. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I got some funny guests this week, Scruncho and the very funny Rudy Rush. All us been down for years. So Scruncho being here, I think Rudy trying to come in here now. Um, Here go Rudy. Rudy that came back. This streaming thing can get real crazy on you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
just a little bit. You know what happened was I was trying to do one thing and then I just kind of logged myself off by accident. So
Yeah, one button and you all the way to
yeah.
ground zero again. I don't
I don't have my
understand it.
4-year-old with me to help me out.
Oh no, they got it down pat, and this is real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? They got it down pat. So Scruncho supposed to be on here. I already introduced you, Rudy. I don't know for the viewers in Dallas. I know they know who you are. K104 in the morning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dee Dee and the crew. How this
Yeah.
crew they got down there. I hope that don't get me put off the air when I come back to promote.
Nah,
You
nah,
know
nah. You know what? You know what my biggest credit is? You don't know. It's on Wikipedia.
what's that?
My biggest credit is going behind Dominique on every television show.
Every television show. Okay, if y'all don't know,
Every
me,
TV show I ever done, you did it with me.
every TV show I ever taped, I did it with Rudy. And this is ironic because I don't even know. I never heard anybody tell this story but us. We the only people that ever
No.
told it. I ain't no story like this. Def Jam, Comic View, apart. It's always we always on the same show together.
Always.
So we got a different kind of comedy bond that don't nobody else have.
No, absolutely.
Every show. We was the young guns on Def Jam and we ripped that joint.
We ripped that joint.
We ripped that joint. I did Rudy's podcast and he brought up a story that I had forgot about. And the story went on ahead. It blew up when I was taping Def Jam. Go ahead and tell them the story. Rudy, you tell him better. Tell him the story.
The story is, we actually got a chance to tape in New York. I think maybe the last season it taped.
I think so.
But what they were doing was they were doing a special guest host every show. So we had the actual fortunate luxury of having Chris Rock, the great Chris Rock, as our host. And he was just really kind of coming into his own. He had just did Bigger and Blacker. So it was just like, I don't even think he did Bigger and Blacker yet.
I don't know if he had done Big and Black.
Nah, he didn't. So he was still kind of, fluctuating between being famous and just kind of like, just floating around. But he was still a star nonetheless. So he was the host of our show. And we talked about it on my podcast. But, Chris took not a caring effect
right.
all of us. He was pretty much, and it wasn't like he was doing anything wrong. He was just like, he felt like he was an open mic night or some situation where you could just joan on or piggyback on what the other comics said.
Yes.
So my girl Dominique came up and he had some choice words trying to be funny, but little did he know there was a few people in the audience.
Yeah, man.
From the DMV, specifically from DC, which is Dom's mom and her brother was in the audience, and they gave him a situation that went down in the books. Now, Dominique, you're gonna call your mama out and say that she's the one. But I just remember seeing the look on your brother's face because I was there.
He he wasn't, he did what comics do. So I wasn't really offended. We celebrated, we ripped it. The biggest thing for us was ripping the joint. We ain't care nothing about none of that. You know what I'm saying? We was like, we got rip this joint. Because if you bomb on Def Jam, Cheryl Underwood told me, she said, let me tell you something, bitch. She said, you can bomb all over this country, but don't you bomb on no goddamn 35 millimeter. They ain't gonna never forget it.
No, man, and we didn't. Let me tell you something. And if anybody remembers, they came out with the box set of Def Comedy.
Yeah.
And Dominique and I, we ripped it so hard, we made it to tape 3. Out of 13 volumes, we on volume 3.
We on volume 3, and we was young guns. We was only 2 years in, 2.5 years in. Well, anyway, he said something about all of us. And Shucky Ducky was on that show, and he was a big name at that time. you know, and he really tagged him. To me, what he said about him kind of changed the trajectory of Shucky's career, in my
No,
opinion.
absolutely. So, for those of y'all who are listening, Shucky Ducky was one of the legends in comedy, especially at the time when we
Yes.
were doing it. And he had a catchphrase. And there was a few comics that had a catchphrase. You had hamburger with hamburger, and Shucky Ducky had Shucky Ducky quack quack. Well,
Yeah.
before he even started to tell his jokes, I think it's more important for a host to actually come out there and be like, hey, this is my man, this is my girl. Even if you don't know them, you set the stage for the comic coming on before you.
To be successful, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Instead of saying Shucky Ducky quack quack, he was like Shucky Ducky. I hope he got some jokey wokies. And
Yeah.
it put the crowd in a place where they were like, well, yeah, he better have some jokes coming after the great Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And to Shucky's detriment a little bit, he had to come behind us.
Yeah, he did. And we beat I don't know, the cat named Ronnie Jordan. I don't know. I mean, not Ronnie Jordan, Ronnie Long. Ronnie Long. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the deal. And the funny thing that we didn't know, Dom, when we got there, we thought we was automatic.
Yeah, we thought we was automatic.
And we wasn't.
They
said 4 of y'all gonna tape, 3 of y'all gonna make it.
Yeah.
So it put the stakes pretty high. And Ronnie killed it. I came and killed you. And people don't know the order. They switched it up when they aired it. But it was Ronnie, then me, then you.
Yeah.
Then
Shucky.
Rip back to back to back. And then Shucky Ducky came up there. And like I said, Chris Rock was like, I hope he got some jokey wokies. And he didn't have any jokes.
Yeah, he had the thing he did. And it was just like, if a host go out and say that before, you know what I'm saying, that kind of make it's gonna be hard on you once you put something in the order. That's like me introducing somebody and saying, he corny as hell, but I'm gonna see what he do for y'all tonight. Well, you can't not hear that.
And that's exactly what happened. And then Shucky Ducky has a catchphrase called, like I said, Shucky Ducky quack quack.
Yeah.
When he finished and didn't do well, this was so epic that I'm surprised they didn't even air it. But he came out after him, and Chris Rock said, Shucky Ducky whack whack.
Yeah. And he said he talked about everybody. I don't know if he called me Shirley ugly or whatever he said.
He said, we're Roger Rerun.
Yeah, we're Roger Rerun and all this kind of stuff. He said all that about me. I'm happy I ripped it because I know, like Rudy just said, that give me a higher chance of getting on the national taping because one person going to get cut. I don't know who the other person was on our show. Nobody ever knows most of the time who the other person was. But it's 5 people, but only 4 people gonna air. Mm-hmm. You know that going in. So I'm like, I ripped it. Ain't no way. If they cut me, I got cut on some political stuff.
Yeah, we gotta talk to the people we know to get that tape because I know I rocked it.
We gotta get that tape. Yeah. So he said that, but my mother and them ain't appreciate it. So I ain't even know the story had blown up. I'm coming through the airport. I'm leaving. Cheryl Underwood coming in. She said, oh, yeah. What happened? I heard your mom about to whoop Chris Rock.
Your mama was in his face.
At his limousine. She met him out back in his limousine. Mommy wasn't having it to give him a few choice words about how she felt about the whole situation. And my brother, he was on standby. He was the rock the mic kind of dude. But my brother said that he was very respectful to my mother. Yeah. He apologized, and in his defense, he apologized and said, it was cool, and he ain't had no problem with it. He was sorry that he did that. He was just trying to make jokes. That's pretty much what he was.
Yeah. And like I said, he didn't mean any harm, but
you
don't mean harm. You could bring harm to a situation because we was really all of us. We was babies. Plus, even in respect to Shucky should have found a way, or she shouldn't have had to find a way to kind of maneuver. He should have just been able to come and do his thing without that. But we made it.
We made it, and we got on that joint, and it was on from there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We really, we was in the house. You know what I'm saying? We was in the house. So that but to this day, like I tell Rudy, that man don't say nothing to me. I see this man, like he still remember this, and I'm like, dude, ain't no ill. Me and his brother very close. That's my guy. Shout out to Tony Rock. That's my guy. But when I see
Yeah.
Chris be like, nah, there they go right there.
Your
But
mama
I was
gave you
not,
one.
yeah, I wasn't eternally wounded. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I just,
and you shouldn't be. You know,
yeah, I wasn't.
it's like you said, you understood the playing field, but the thing about us is it's like going to a basketball game or anything else. Your parents don't know how the coach supposed to talk to you or how the coach usually talk to you or the elements that's involved. They just know that's my baby and you being
Yeah,
disrespectful, so I'm about to see you about that.
yeah.
And
And
that's
you
what
know,
we
I'm
got.
from, Southeast DC. So, that's a whole nother kind of element right there. My mother born and bred. I'm talking about generation after generation. You don't know about Southeast DC. Ask some of your people from DC.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
talking about the old Southeast. I ain't talking about the ones with the $100,000, $200,000, $400,000 condos. I ain't talking
No,
about
no,
that
no, no, no,
Southeast.
no, no.
I'm talking about project
Yeah,
Southeast.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the Southeast I'm talking about. So let's be clear. But yeah, to this day, he don't say nothing. But these are the type of experiences me and Rudy,
Yes.
me, me and Rudy that had out here on this road. How you doing, Rudy? How you hanging in there through this whole, pandemic process?
Listen, it's been a little funny as far as a lot of people think 2020 has been a bad thing,
Yeah, I
and it
don't think
has.
so.
We've had some bad situations, and some things happen. But I'll be honest with you, it's actually given me a chance to be more reflective, be more creative.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Save a little
yeah.
money, do a lot of things that I normally wasn't doing because we were moving too fast. But I really feel like in the next year or so, we're gonna get back to some normalcy with some of the effects of this. I think people are still gonna be wearing masks from here on out.
Oh, I'm going to 2030. I ain't mad. I'm gonna be the Rudy. I'm gonna be the last one in the whole crew. They gonna be like, don't invite her because she's gonna show up with that mask on, still acting like people giving her the EBGBs or something. I'm
Hey,
going to 2032. I mean, I don't know what to say about it.
I ain't mad at you. So, like I said, it's been good. It's just I hate for some comics. You understand when you see some of the top names out there right now going out there to get a check, that the comedy game is kind of suffering a little bit. But I think that it's a cleansing of some sort because
I think so
getting
too.
all the saturated dudes out there. Like you can't have no official show and have people come and be socially distancing if you ain't no real comedian. So now you
Right.
can't have those shows. So people are going out to see Bill Bellamy. They're going to see DL. They're going to see Gary Owen. They're going to see Dominique. And that's the
Yeah.
one thing I do like about the situation. It kind of leveled off the playing field because there was too many hands in the pot.
I agree with you on that. I think that it hit a reset button, Rudy, and it's gonna flip it back to
Yeah.
how it really need to be. And I do think in the times we headed in that you're gonna have to really, really be saying something, And something that you said that was interesting too, Rudy, is that so you think we'll have more normalcy coming out of this, like maybe in the next year or so, huh?
I
Why
think
you think that?
Well, I think that things are going to open up, because the air is going to clear, the election is over. Like, you know what I mean? It's, as much as we hate to think that there's a conspiracy about the things that's going on around us, there's a method to the madness. But I do feel like the restaurants, the distancing, I needed that before the COVID.
That's all I'm
I needed
saying.
my 6 feet before that.
That I don't mind how they clean the carts at the grocery store.
I
A
love it.
lot of this is nastiness that then got us
Yeah.
into this.
And,
Just being filthy. I can't believe we had to go right back. I'm talking about preschool, wash your hands. And I
yeah.
know how nasty people are because I'm appalled sometimes when I go in the ladies' room. I'm like, you couldn't figure out how to flush the toilet. You that
Come
nasty.
on.
So
So
yeah.
now you got to be on point. So I think that part is going to carry over. But at the same time, I've been in concerts where I felt there was too many people. So now when you take that 100% of you got 10,000 people, now you got 7,500, and now we can move around.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's a lot more people here on this planet than they care to let us know.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
true.
Yeah, that's the truth because our population in the black community, it's the same year after year. Many babies as these people have.
Hey,
It ain't.
if you don't preach,
It ain't grow. We ain't grow one person. We ain't grow 1% of nothing. We stay at the same 13. What is it? Come on now. We stay at the Rudy. We stay at the same 13%. You can go to the grocery store right now and see 4 of us pregnant now.
Come on.
So what, you don't count them no more? I mean, come on now, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Keep us at that 13%, Dom.
I mean, all these years we still at 13.
And I'm gonna freak it for you like this. When I was in Catholic school, like that's 1st through 5th grade, the population was 350 million. We still around that same number.
How is that?
That is impossible.
Especially with the influx of our Latina brothers and sisters. We know how they go. They having kids like our grandparents. They still doing 6 and 7 a family.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 8. They get, so I mean, how is the population still the same?
Exactly. And this is another thing that you got to be careful for is like
and like one of the viewers said that Debbie said, but yet still but she said we got the highest death of numbers of everything, which I'm kind of on the fence about that too, because I'm like, listen, Debbie too. Wasn't nobody talking about Black people and COVID. Not that I ever felt we couldn't die from it. If it's a virus, anybody can die from a virus. But wasn't nobody talking about us and COVID till we got on social media hollering, we don't get it. Soon as we said we don't get it, they was on the news. They got whiffed of it.
They gave it to us.
Look, Monday they got whiffed of we saying we ain't got it. By Tuesday they had the meeting. By Friday we got it worse than everybody else in the whole country and died worse of it. Don't get me wrong. I know we get it. And I know people. I just don't believe that we the worst of everything. I want us to be the best of something. Can we get number one at something?
I love you because you smarter than smart. And let me tell you, that's what they do to us. Everything as far as cancer and women or any diseases, whatever, we the top at getting everything.
We get everything. And I think we can get things like everybody else. I just don't believe that we 13% of the population and we sicker from everything everybody else in every other ethnic group. We worse off. In the Latino community, they right under us. It's hard for me to I can't buy it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying
you shouldn't, but
I just can't. I can't buy it.
They trying to annihilate African Americans, and there's some people out there preaching it, and it's hard to see because they bring so much stuff in your face, and you be like, oh, that's impossible. But when you see the neighborhoods, even going back to your old neighborhoods with the regentrification, where they putting all these Black people in the projects they used to be in when they tore down these projects, where they at?
Sending them down to the little dirt road countries, like they sending them all the way down the road where you used to go down there and pick watermelon.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody move from, they going down there. Yeah. It's kind of it's nuts. I don't know, but I do encourage everybody. I do, people say, "Oh, it's a hoax. It's this." Okay, I hear you on that, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution of taking care of myself and being healthy. And I would encourage everybody else too. But we grown. You know what I'm saying? We grown people, and we got to make our own decisions for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna look out for myself. You can get mad at me or whatever, but I ain't going. You can say you got me later. That's all I'm saying, Rudy. In a few years, you can say, "Got you. You wore that mask." That's all right. That's all right. But something going on, and
okay.
That's just how
I was wearing that mask since day one.
But I always been a germaphobe. I always wore a mask. I just was there with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's just what it was. I ain't had no problems with it. I'm about to bring Scruncho in here real quick.
Okay,
Scrunch.
Hey, what's up with y'all, man? Rudy. Hey, man, this technology shit had me fucked up, boy. Nigga, I was like, I used to have a personal assistant try to do all my little technical shit.
Right.
I said, I'm going to do my shit myself. Time for me to step into the new millennium. Man, this was trying to do a robbery on the slide. I said, it's like,
it's weird though when you do stuff and you be like, you know what, I'm really feeling like my parents right now. Am I really getting older? You know, is this really?
I said, man, what am I doing? I couldn't get in. I didn't know how to log on shit. I didn't know how to download shit. I said, man, I'm really lost in the sauce.
Look, and you've been on the show.
Yeah, I've been on so. And then the cold thing about it reminded me of my brother. You know, that nigga been locked up so long. He got out of jail. He the first nigga that texts me collect. I like collect text. Who is this?
I'm glad you're here. That's my homie Scruncho. He out here. That's my G. He out here, LA with me.
What's up?
So before you popped in, we realized I told the people it was gonna take you, you know, a few minutes. We ain't old, but we ain't 20 either. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I know it's gonna take me a few minutes. Looking at myself, I swear to God, I never knew I was this dark. I'm like, is this the lighting, man? I need to.
Oh, hey, listen, dog. That's the lighting in the crib. You gotta get one of these little halos.
Oh yeah, you got to get a whole. Hey, Scrunch, you got to get a whole setup. Cause look, they talked about me so bad one time on my own show. They said, look, they was like. I mean, right now it was Guy Tory. Look, it was GT and Joe, right? They like, I mean, because right now you looking like you in the dungeon. I said, well, what do I do? They said you got to get you some lights. Then I start realizing, I got to get the circles that I be seeing. I be wondering what them circles is in people's eyes when they on when they on Zoom or whatever. I be got the circle eyes all of a sudden.
Well, I appreciate that, Dom. I don't feel too bad now, shit, because
they on Amazon. They on Amazon. I ain't gonna cost you but a few bucks, 30, 40 bucks.
I'm about to give them a lot. Y'all over there looking amazing. I'm like, damn, but them the same things. Looking younger and all kind of shit.
Hey. My head did lean over a little bit. This is my quarantine. I was rushing to get on. I couldn't lift it back over.
I said, man, I was trying. I said, man, I need to step my production game up. This is terrible for me.
Oh, yeah, you got to go all the way in. I ain't never thought about no light. I mean, because I go places where they provide lights. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic got me at the crib. I said, okay, I got to get that. Need to give me some backdrops. I mean, by the time I finish with this, I'll be ready to open up a whole radio studio by the time.
Man, you ain't lying, boy. You on deck over there, boy. You got your professionalism on point.
You do, man.
I'm working on it though. I gotta help you, and I gotta shout out my producer. Now he put me up on all this because I still be sitting in the dark. You know,
y'all see, I'm moving in slow motion, nigga. I did all this shit myself. Y'all all moving normal. I'm moving like
pixelated.
Yeah, I'm all pixelated and shit. I'm in the Matrix fucking with y'all. Look, nigga, all in the Matrix.
I gotta tell y'all a story.
Yes.
Funny story.
Yes.
About Scruncho.
Oh shit.
So now listen, every comic, you're not a real comic if you ain't got a Scruncho story.
No, you're not.
But check this out. So Dom, let me tell you.
Okay, I'm ready.
This dude right here is past 100, right?
Oh yeah.
He passed 100. You need something. He got you. Like, so when I was in LA, me and Scrunch, because he just real recognized real. So we go work out, we go hang out, go grab a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Scruncho don't even know about this. So one night, I didn't know how connected Scruncho really is, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
And so something happened at the Comedy Union. So one of the little homies, like, I was trying to talk some sense into him, but he called Big Bro, which is Scrunch.
Right.
And so I get a phone call from Scrunch out of nowhere. I was like, why is Scruncho calling me? He's like, yo, everything cool? I was like, yeah, man. I explained everything that happened down. I was like, yeah, this happened, that happened. I get off the phone with Scruncho, right? 5 minutes after that, GMB checked it. I was like, that nigga just checked. Yo, I had to call Scruncho back. I was like, yo, Scrunch, we cool? He was like, yeah, dog. I was just checking on the young homie. But it was just like, that's how he does. Like, It's always a fellowship and always like checking in on each other.
Yeah, it's
and he was
crucial,
just making
man.
sure that
Man, anytime you come out here, I'm make sure any resources I have, I gotta make sure I protect my people, because every time I go to different states, nobody know who the fuck I am. And it's never where you from. It's always where you at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to protect where you not where you from, you got to protect the niggas that's not from here. You got to make sure they good 10 toes down. So anytime they get off the plane, I use all my resources to make sure they good. You know what I mean? In any way necessary. Whether they in the car, protection. I don't give a fuck what a nigga need. I got you. You know
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
And and that's why I always love Scruncho, man. Like it's comics that you could call, and Dominique, we have that same type of relationship that you could just call a comic and be like, yo, what you doing? Like, let's go let's go eat. Like some comics you don't fuck with because they ain't about shit.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of them. I can't stand when they like that. I'd be like, cuz, bring it down, clown. You know what I'm saying?
Dom, I had to call Scruncho like he was my cousin, though. I was like, dog, you just checked me out.
Hey,
I was in trouble. I didn't even know.
Shit, them niggas, once they know, because niggas know out here, homie, I was, way before I even picked up a mic, I was already that nigga. You know what I mean? I always was just a street. To be honest, I've been a street nigga since I was 7. You know what I mean? And I'm a real hustler. You know what I mean? And a true hustler means you know everything and you can do anything except fill out an application. You know what I'm nigga, I don't know a reference from a referee, nigga. I don't know, nigga, none of that shit. But man, so I always try to, and then back then it hurt me, but it was like a blessing and it was a curse with my mentality. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it blocked blessings, but it helped me in some ways. In other ways, it hurt. But you have to mature into this business. You know what I mean?
You do. You got to mature in the life period, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You got to mature in the life period. One thing I want to bring up is it's time to vote. Y'all voting, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Scrunch, you vote. You. That's how people say something. That's how people ask you a question.
I know. You know what?
Without directly ask, they be like, I say, Scruncho, you vote.
Yeah. But you know what? It's crazy, man. Like, people don't understand. Like, I'm a real nigga, and people don't understand that I'm not fucking with Biden, and I'm not fucking with the little chocolate chick, because I know smoke. Because if we believe the messenger, guess what? The reason we ain't shit as black people because they believe they damaged the messenger, so they made us look bad. You know what I mean? That's why we not economically included, is because our character have been assassinated by the same people that assassinated Donald Trump. Meaning, like, we all know Donald Trump is racist. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. But the truth of the matter is, everybody racist per se. You know what I'm saying? But if I look at the facts, right? Mm-hmm. Cause I don't know Trump, so I don't give a fuck about him personally, because he done said some shit where I might want to slap the shit out of him. But them ain't the facts. The facts is this: Biden, right? In 1993, Bill Clinton started the 3-strike law, and the person that didn't just sign the bill for the 3-strike law, he helped write the bill. He literally sit down and help write the bill for mass incarceration of black men. And it's no two people that sent more black men to jail than the little black chick and Biden. Now, Biden is as racist as Donald Trump. He just hide behind Donald Trump popularity of racism. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you this: if I look at the facts now, Donald Trump. Now, I'm a hood nigga, and I ain't never seen so many niggas in the middle of a motherfucking pandemic that's get eaten. Do you know? No disrespect, but kilos up to $60,000 a pound. A bird, 60,000. They ain't been that high since 1985. And it's everybody Clinton locked up. Niggas I got more homies got out of jail, overturned them 3 strikes. Then everybody Clinton locked up, Donald Trump let their ass go, and those the facts. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
But the fact of the matter is, too, now, it was a bipartisan bill. Yeah, they wrote the bill, but everybody was in on the bill. It wasn't just a one-sided bill. That's one thing we got to say. And
yeah,
this the way I go ahead, Rudy. Say
but in the
your.
Clinton administration, like Scruncho just said, the Clinton administration, they could have rebooted slavery. That's how many black people in the history. Now I'm talking about George Washington up until Clinton. Nobody was locked up. They locked up more people in that period than
Man,
the
they
whole
lock
history of the
niggas up,
U.S.
bro. And every time, see what the problem with our culture is. We like moving on feelings instead of facts, but facts ain't feelings. Feelings ain't facts.
Hey, yo,
And the truth of the matter is,
they calling him the first black president. They called him the first black president.
yeah, he done locked up more black men than anybody. But
So
y'all was so. But see, here go the part with our culture.
go ahead.
Especially black Hollywood. They at all with white skin. Anything they is in love with their oppressor. So they so in love with their oppressor, they refuse to look at the facts. You know what I mean? As long as they get a little white privilege just sprinkled on them, they good. And Democrats, let me tell you what Democrats are. Democrat politicians, Democrats, they basically just gather up as many niggas as they can and hand them over. They ain't nothing but slick public defenders.
But
You know
the
what I
whole
mean?
thing of it is you got that on both sides. Donald Trump to put enough judges in place in these appeal courts and everywhere else around the country, more than the history of any other president, that's gonna lock more black people up too. So yeah, it looked good the way he presented it. He got the gift of gab, and he can talk the talk, and he can do all this. But my thing with him is he ain't fit to be nobody's president. And
But
I
here's
ain't
the thing.
taking up. I'm not taking
But
up
you're
for Joe
absolutely
Biden
right.
because I
No.
know Joe Biden is flawed, and I know she flawed. But what I do know is you're gonna be hard pressed to find a politician that ain't flawed.
Well,
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
absolutely right, Dominique. But here's the thing: what you and Donald Trump and all of us got in common with Donald Trump, none of us politicians. You know what I mean? And he don't know how to talk like a politician, act like a politician. So he gonna look completely ignorant regardless of the facts. You see what I'm saying? But it's the motherfuckers that know how to talk it well, them the motherfuckers you need to look out for the most. You know what I mean? And Biden already told you, well, you black people better vote for me. He already told you how he feel
He
about us.
definitely said that.
He
Come on,
definitely
man.
He said, if
said
you
that.
don't vote for me, you
But the
ain't black.
fact of the matter is, it's gonna be a president in the United States. And at
Absolutely.
least if I gotta be in a country, if you ain't planning on leaving, if I gotta be in a country with a president, I gotta have a president that got some cool. He talk all that stuff and he make you feel like he your friend. While he ain't stabbing you in your back, he's stabbing you in your face. So the fact of the matter is, we need somebody with some cool that at least know how to run a country. I ain't saying nobody about to bend over backwards for us. Who about to do it? Who done it already?
None of them.
But that's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna make my voice heard because of what my ancestors did. I ain't saying none of them perfect. You know
what
what
I'm trying to say is, I'm just trying to remove the sheets from Biden's face that he trying to hide behind Trump. And I'm just letting you know, no matter how bad Trump is, Biden ain't no better. Trump is just more honestly ignorant about his ignorance. And Trump is and Biden is hiding his ignorance behind Donald Trump ignorance. But his feelings are equal. And I don't judge Biden by his words. We judge Trump by his words. But I judge Biden by his actions and his bills and his proof and his track record. And he hide behind black people. He hide behind us. We not gonna win with Trump or Biden, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But the one thing about Trump is he don't give a fuck about nothing. But he trying to empty that vault. That nigga trying to get to them trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars.
He don't care about nothing but himself,
nothing,
including his base. And I don't believe that you can have you don't need to be in a country with a president that don't care nothing about himself, trying to stay out of jail and pay off that $400 million. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
don't get me wrong. I just don't believe that. I don't believe you should have a president that want this to be a capitalist society, but he a socialist. behind all of it all. So
I
I just, come on.
You dead ass right, but Dominique, you gotta remember this.
Scrunch. You have, and so does Dominique. Y'all have.
Yeah, you got a point, Scrunch. Don't get me wrong. I ain't
Billion.
saying what you're saying wrong now.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what he said. And, but like I'm with Dominique. The lesser of the two evils is definitely something that I feel culturally like we need to get past this Donald Trump situation. But I do feel you, Scrunch. Like, I've been telling people for the longest time, bro.
Wait a minute, Scrunch. Go ahead, Rudy.
I've been telling people for the longest time, like, yo, stop being hoodwinked by these Democrats.
Right.
And get out and vote in your local elections, not these big electoral. I mean, you vote for the president, but vote for judges, vote for sheriffs, vote for
senators,
Congress. That's what we got to do.
I honestly agree with y'all on one thing. We should vote, and we got to vote. And I feel like if you don't vote, you don't have a right to say what you feel. You know what I mean? Because the power is in the vote, because a little bit of a lot adds up. So we all should vote regardless of who we should vote for, because our people fought and died for us to have a right to vote, and we should vote. And that shouldn't even be negotiable. And a matter of fact, they should make it a law where it should be against the law if you don't vote. You know
and
what I mean?
This would get me with us too. Out of all the years, we got this stock raving mad president. Out of all the years, this the year that a lot of our people decide we gonna take up this issue with who racist and who ain't and who doing this. And I'm talking about on a mass scale. That's what's weird to me. The thing is, I agree with Rudy. We get past this situation and we build from there. So maybe the next time we ain't got to go to either source. But to stand back, like Donald Trump tell his supremacy, his Proud Boys, stand back and stand down with all this going in the country right now. Yeah, you can't. We don't have the luxury to take that issue up in my opinion right now.
Here's another thing I disagree with you on. The one thing I agree with Donald Trump, and I've been telling people everything. We need a war. We got to have a war, because until black people fight the fuck back and stop trying to march and protest and do all this goofy shit, let's go to war, because America respects the motherfucker that fight back. And until we have a cool little racial war and get it in, because we sound like we scared. Nigga, let's go to war.
But the thing of it is, well, we definitely, I think we already in a civil war. But the problem is, when people go to war with their government, they be fighting a war against their government in their country. We trying to fight a war in somebody else's country. That's one of our hindrances.
But though. At least if we fight a war, it won't be no secret that because we fighting a war we want to fight this silent war right now where they killing us.
You trying to get me to choke the shit out my neighbor?
But here go where I want.
He just passing it, y'all. Scrunch just passing it.
But hold on. Here go where I want to classify and justify.
Okay, go ahead.
I want y'all to understand what racism is. Racism have absolutely nothing to do with the color of your skin. Racism is an evil spirit that is projected by the color of your skin. Because there's a lot of white people, if it wasn't for the good white people who hid behind the color of their skin, Harriet Tubman couldn't have did all the things she did. It was the good white people that hid Harriet Tubman and helped freed a lot of slavery.
Yeah.
And so the racism have absolutely nothing to do with the color of your skin. And as you know, as a black person, a lot of our racism is within our own immediate family, in our own culture.
Yeah.
It's the niggas it's the niggas who got the white supremacist way of thinking, who hide behind their black face, is worse than the motherfuckers who hide behind their white sheet. Yeah. How gangster is that? Yeah. That part.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying, and I already think we in a civil war. You know, but I think what a lot of the biggest issue is too is not what we see on the ground. It's the things that will turn back on us in the Supreme Court and those kind of things. That's why, like what Rudy said, we got to vote down the ballot so we can stop these kind of things from happening. Things that'll set us back. You know, Donald Trump, he looked good on the front. Yeah, he brought us to a war.
Man.
He definitely exposed all the ills and sicknesses in this country. I think that was necessary. There are white people that got down and understand and trying to do better. But we in a situation where I don't think he good for us for the things that he'll do. Like he put all them 190 something judges in there. The things that he'll do behind the scenes, it's gonna be detrimental to us.
Man, all I'm saying is it need to be a war because until black people fight back, listen, we've been 400 years trying to march and do all kind of goofy shit. When the motherfucker gonna fight back?
Go ahead, Rudy. Let Rudy say something, Scruncho. Go ahead, Rudy.
Can they fight that shit in Wyoming? Listen. I need a head start. I don't need that shit to start on my street.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's what y'all fella understand, right? The reason we need a war is this, right? Is because with black people, we always on our feelings and we on our emotions, but we shouldn't care about what people feel about us. What we should know is how they classify us in America and how they classify us under the pyramid of the racial pyramid of the hierarchy. Is they classify us at the bottom of the pyramid, and they classify us under two things: threatening and livestock. So what that means is we're not even systematically included because we're not even considered to be human under the law of the land. So therefore, that's why, just to prove to you, that's the only reason gentrification exists, is because we don't qualify to own none of the property. We got to go through a different race in order to get our equal rights because we're not systematically, economically included, and we consider livestock. That's why we not targeted. We being hunted.
I'm gonna tell you what the war is. This is what the war is, because the way you saying the Scruncho, I hear you. But are we really supposed to take you to the street and kill everybody? Get out there with our guns and just go on a whole, a war like that? Okay, we're gonna take everybody down. The war is our economic dollar. That's the war. See, they don't understand nothing but conquer and divide and money. So if you got a government that don't understand nothing but conquer and divide and money, if we get able to control our economic dollar, I think some of the things we want to get done get done. We put $1 trillion a year into this country. Why would anything change? Nothing would change if you keep putting $1 trillion a year into somebody's pocket, and on the other breath, you sitting up there saying, "Y'all doing me wrong, do me right." There ain't nobody hearing that. Because you saw it already in the civil rights movement in the 60s and the bus boycott in Alabama. They bankrupt the bus system. And then somebody had to say, get Dr. King on the phone because we need that money. If we can't do it economically, the war thing, what we gonna do? We gonna kill everybody? We gonna kill everybody in the country? How is that going? How do we fight the war? I guess I'm asking. How do we fight it?
Well, here go the problem, Dominique. Whether we right now, because there's no war, the only person war is against us. So we're the only one that's getting killed. And if you look at, and not only is we systematically and economically getting killed, less than 1% of crimes against the white man is by the black man. So that means as much as we talk about our oppressor, we also protect that motherfucker while we kill each other. So a war is necessary. So we stop being scared.
How do we fight it? That's what I'm asking. How do we go about that? When you say it's necessary, but what are the rules or what are the guidelines? How do we do that? How does it look? How does the war look to you? What do we need to do? How do we do that?
Well, the same people that's plotting and setting up the we shall overcome and the protection, and let's try to figure out how to let them give us our 40 acres in the mule. Come on, man. Stop all that. Let's start setting up something where we could go in there and fight back. Because if you fight back, you already know. Bullies respect somebody that fight back, win or lose. You know what I mean? But right now, it's not a war, but because you know why? We the only ones dying. So of course.
No, but I mean, how do we go about that? How does that, what do we do? Because like you said, like we always get in these conversations, and then we say we gotta set up something. Like people will say too, we don't need to vote. We need to do this, we need to do that. And I don't doubt any of those things, and I don't think any of those things are wrong, but I don't think that we can say that before we are in that position. You can't say, oh, this is what we need to do instead of voting for either one of these parties. Go ahead, Rudy.
Well, I think both of y'all said it. There's two ways of handling it. There's Scruncho's way of, really manning up and going out and taking, your destinies in your hands, which is like he said, when you smack the bully back, that bully really respects that. But
that's true.
Another way to do it, like you said, like Dr. King and them, you bankrupt their systems. You stop feeding money. If you can get a motherfucker to stop buying Timbs, or you stop buying Prada bags and all this other stuff, all these hairs and all this other stuff, if black people took their money and spent it on black shit, then that's a war in itself, because you're not financing anything that they got going on over there. And now we got a problem. You got a problem.
I mean, like, of course we don't have everything we need in the black community, but if we start attacking it like that, I think we will. And you just spend your money on the necessities, just like Christmas coming up. If all of us decided that we ain't spending $1 on nothing for Christmas, and we gonna sit our babies down and explain to them however we want to explain to them, we not spending. You gonna hear something about that in itself.
Yeah.
Well,
if we was able to do that one thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is this.
Yeah.
The power is they control subliminal marketing. See, subliminal marketing. So with hip hop didn't sell us out, but the people that bought hip hop sold us out. So what they did, they bought the marketing. So they use all the big names and they bring in. So guess what? It's not a black product that's selling like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. So they bring all these European designers in subliminally under the hip hop culture, and they sell our culture out. You know what I'm saying? So now we practically not even welcome in our culture, and we not guided by something outside the color of what we are. So until we control the subliminal marketing, you know what I mean?
And that's a great point That's a great point you making. So if we are struggling in that area, how we gonna come together to fight a war? You see how we like sectional furniture? We fragmented in different areas. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody buying Gucci and all this stuff, they grown now. So they got a choice to say, I ain't buying it, and I already got 19 pair of shoes in the closet, so I ain't going to buy it. But because of what you said just now, which is a good point, they do. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, here's the sad part about it. Let me show you how deep the lost we are, right?
Okay, go ahead.
We as a black man, right? We really are literally illegal almost. Meaning, like, what I mean by that, to be a black man right now, if you know who the new man in the house is? It's Google. Google the new man in the house, because and not trying to be funny, but a woman would turn to Google before she turned to her man, and then she gonna turn to Google to check everything her man say. So that means that we show aggression as a black man, we angry. We tell the raw truth, we bitter. We stand up for ourselves, we bullies. So we've been positioned and conditioned to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and if you want to show aggression and make sure it's within the gift, or you on a platform where you consider the artist or entertainer, or you need to shut the fuck up. And that's the way we've been positioned and conditioned. So now everything that's soft and feminized and non-threatening is acceptable. So being a man's man, an alpha male, man, we is livestock. We are high, It's brothers. I go to the gym every day and I box and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And while the brothers out there on the golf course trying to get white accepted, which I don't really trust too many niggas that play golf, because every time niggas play,
why you don't trust me?
Let me tell you something.
Okay, talk to me. Why you don't
There's 3 reasons why I don't trust a nigga play golf.
What is it? I like golf, Scruncho. Now, what is the problem?
Okay, number one.
I want to know too. What is the problem?
The motherfucker's even trying to impress his impressor, trying to get white accepted, or trying to meet Michael Jordan. That's it. But why everybody on the golf course trying to be white accepted and feeling relevant? I'm in the gym every day, and every other culture is in the gym, and they all training. You know what? They training to beat the fuck out of a nigga. And not only that, when every time I box a different culture, you know what they do?
What they do?
After I kick their ass, they get on the phone talking, hey, honey, guess what? I just had a fucking fight with black guy. Yeah, hold on, he's right here. Yeah, he kicked my ass. Yeah, he hit me right in the gut. They don't even want to win. They just they won't feel relevant until they put the foot. They ain't no better than the police. They need to kick our ass to feel relevant because we the new, everybody man, you better listen on me. Y'all better listen to what I'm telling y'all.
But you do. Everybody made a great point. Rudy made a great point. Scruncho, you made a great point, and that's why we had these discussions. We all of us agree though that we all should vote. However, which way, whatever you think, I think we agree. Like Scruncho said, you should vote. We all agree you should vote. So we're gonna spend on it, and we gonna make your voice heard, and whoever wins, they gonna win. We do have work we gotta do in our community amongst ourselves. We got some in-house stuff we gotta do.
But let me just say this too from a personal perspective.
Yes.
Now, everything we talked about today, right?
Yes.
We talk from a big picture. We looked at the big picture of everything, right?
Yes.
But the big picture don't define who you are. You know what I mean? Who you are, you got to zoom in on exactly who in front of you, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you give them love and you give them respect and you give them acceptance, and then that's how you change the world. You know what I mean? But if I fight from this perspective and live off my views, and then I'll be disconnected from the real world. So in other words, when you put love first, put love over the big picture. Fuck the big picture. Because that don't have nothing to do with your day-to-day activity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So focus in, and the way you change the world is projecting love with whoever in front of you, regardless what they color, they race, they sexual preferences. It don't matter who's in front of you. If you give them the spirit of love, and then I guarantee you it'll come back to you, regardless of what the big picture is.
Can you take that spirit of love and send me 500 cash out, nigga?
We got a shout out to Los Angeles Lakers. They the bubble champions. We done bought it all home in the bubble.
And once again, LeBron is the greatest one that ever did it. You know,
he's a problem.
I don't know. I'm one of the ones that Jordan did for me though. So,
well, can I say this, Dominique?
Yeah.
It's like saying, Muhammad Ali not the greatest, but Muhammad Ali is the greatest because his social choices that made him greatest all around. And LeBron is like the Muhammad Ali of our time. He stand up for social justice. And he do everything right. And no matter how much they hate on him, they sprayed painted nigga all on his house when he first came to LA. He forgave him, act like it didn't happen, pushed it under the rug, and still accepted us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're right about it. I give you that. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I was just talking in terms of the game, but you all around, you talking about an all-around person. Yeah. He got Mike on that. Yeah, he got Mike on that. But when it comes to the game, he not. Well, we talking about all-around person.
We don't want to get into that because when we talk about the game, neither one of them is the greatest.
Okay, come on in, Rudy. Come on in.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if he had a personality like Shaq and wasn't a Muslim.
Yeah. Well, at the time, you gotta remember Kareem came along where he was so great that they literally banned the slam dunk.
Listen,
thinking about
they was
thinking about raising the rim up because he
was like Shaq and he was like, "Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What's up? Come." If he stayed Lou Alcindor, it would be no question because he got more rings, just as many rings and MVPs. He won 3 college championships in a row.
Yeah.
Yo, that dude.
And he went undefeated at UCLA.
He got more points than everybody.
Yeah. He could have, and this was before the 3-pointer. You got to remember that.
Come on.
But why don't nobody use the hook shot no more? They can't shoot it, can they?
They can't.
Nah,
they don't know how to shoot that. You'll be the best big. If Anthony Davis do the hook shot, it's over, bro. If he starts spinning out there, They gonna win from now on because they
actually
can't
got a
shoot it
point
and they
though,
sure
dog.
can't defend it.
No, they can't.
If I was Anthony Davis, I'd tell Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to shoot that hook shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be
Dom, it
like,
looked like
teach
you
me
got
that.
a nice,
That shit was cold.
Teach
look,
me
Dom
that.
looked like she got a nice little hook shot on her though. She looked like
Yeah,
wow.
shoot that hook shot. Hey,
Yeah,
they'll win from LeBron to be the play till he 50 if Anthony Davis starts shooting that.
hell yeah.
So we do a segment on this show. We do a segment called Air It Out. So what Air It Out is, in this show, we believe that, laughter heals, not holding their things, laugh to make you feel good, and air it out. Get whatever it is you want off your chest. Everybody get 2 minutes. I don't care what it is. Whatever getting on your nerves, making you sick, you got 2 minutes on this show. We call this segment Air It Out. Scruncho, we're going to start with you, and I'm going to tell you when you on the clock. And then just start airing it out. It don't matter what it is. Just air it out, okay?
All right.
Well, okay, go, Scruncho.
Well, I hate how they put this false persona on a black man like we the most gangsters motherfuckers that ever lived. That's not true. The gangsters motherfuckers on the planet always been a white man. Not only have they is the real killers. They didn't kill countries. They called us slave. Listen, homie, they stole America. The first, matter of fact, pimping is another word for pilgrims. You understand what I'm saying? The first colonies, they're another word for Crips. And when he got off, when they came to this land, there was already people on it. They took it from the Indians. They swung, got nice and high. And then when they found out they only had bow and arrows, they pulled out the guns and hook ride on them. You know what I mean? And then had the nerve to. After they then Thanksgiving is America's first robbery. And then had the nerve to tell the Indians, named it after the Indians after they robbed. Thanks for your giving. And then he gonna kill us. Then they had the nerves to come take us. And then some white people say we were sold, but that's ignorant because it don't matter if we were sold or we went voluntarily. Slavery was wrong, right?
Yeah.
So then they had the nerve to come make us build America, right? They got the fucking nerve to call us lazy. We ain't lazy. We tired, bitch. That's my 2 minutes right there.
All right.
Say that.
All right, Rudy, you on the clock. Go.
All right, then listen. All y'all black women, listen closely, man. I used to really give dudes a problem who don't fuck with their kids. If you ain't fuck with your kids, you couldn't even be in my circle. You couldn't fuck with me. But you know what? You got to live through it to understand that, you know what? You got to put yourself aside. Put your feelings and all that other shit, especially when, sometimes these dudes, if people break up, they break up. But what? I ain't never in my life thought I would have to make a decision about my kid because of the way someone else is treating me and how,
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? And so to all you black men out there who try to fight through it, and all y'all black women out there who's trying to stop him from doing everything while you living it up and you posting this and that, we got to cut that shit out. Period, point blank, because if you got a good dude and if he ain't good for you no more, but he's still a good dad, why are you trying to stop him from being that?
Yeah, stop being a dick, sabotage.
Ain't your 2 minutes. Ain't your 2 minutes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ruth.
So yeah, because you know what? My whole my 2 minutes is about apologizing for dudes I used to look at sideways and be like, yo, you don't fuck with your kid? Yo, and not understanding the ramifications of what he could possibly be going through court and all that other stuff. When you're a good dude, if you're a good dude, you got to fight, but sometimes you can't even fight through that shit. And that's the toughest part. So that's my 2 minutes right there.
That's excellent. 2 minutes. That was deep.
Yeah, that was good though. That was a good point. Scruncho, your point was good too. Don't get it wrong.
It was just,
you killed it too. All right, so we didn't got to the end. We done had a great conversation. We done ate outside. We done talked about different stuff. So tell them what y'all got coming up, where they can find you on social media and all that good stuff.
Go ahead, Scruncho.
Hey man, you can find me at Scruncho, at the Real Scruncho on IG, and you can find me on Facebook at Anthony Scruncho. And I got my one man show that's gonna be like a Vegas act.
Nice.
called Hood Stories. You know what I mean? The hood stories of it. You know, the only gangster comedian. You know, so I got that cracking, and I also got my we did How High. We did How High 2. I did a spinoff to How High called The Legend of the Assistant Pimp. So I'm finna shoot that. You know what I mean? I got you in there though, Dom. I got you too.
Oh, I
Rudy.
already know it. I already know
So
it.
we always finna rock that. So it's just working, And I'm gonna be on tour. So I got Houston coming up. I got Vegas coming up. I got Arizona coming up, and I got Idaho.
All right.
All right, so basically, I should have went first because I ain't got shit going on. Nah, but listen, I got my album out right now called Enough Respect Due. It's doing huge numbers right now, so it's a great listen. So if you're in your car, you traveling, or whatever you at the crib, the album is dope. And Don, we talked about it. Audio is everything, so it's a great listen. The other thing, you can hear me on the radio each and every morning. You can also catch out my podcast. All right, it's called The Afternoon Rush with your man Rudy Rush. Also, check out my sketch comedy joint called Your Mama's Boyfriend. It's the hottest shit since
That title is epic, nigga.
Hey,
Your Mama's Boyfriend.
It's so live. It's in the second season right now, and we got a special guest. Bill Bellamy did a special guest appearance on the second season. So it's gaining some momentum with that. So we appreciate everything and everybody, and that's what's up.
And I got a comedy special out. It's called Stop Me When I'm Lying. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's my whole name. They done use my government. I don't know what that means. They done put, ain't nobody in the comedy world know my last. Scruncho, what's my last name? He don't know.
Oh,
he never heard it, but it's my first name, Dominique, and my last name, Whitten, Witte, and you can catch it on Amazon Prime, but it's also an album. So you can go on to all of your music platforms and iTunes and iHeart and those things. And you can also find it on there. You can ride in the car and listen to me. I am Rudy too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got that going on. And follow my IG, Dominique, Comedy, Dominique, Comedy, Comedi, just comedy spelled with an I. I just changed the Y. I use what I learned in
creativity. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Remember they used to say, why replace the I? I replaced the Y. So I just replaced the Y. That's all I did. I appreciate y'all. It's so good to see y'all. Y'all looking good. I love both of y'all. Looking young as ever. So we out of here, and we'll see y'all next week. Same place, same time. Appreciate you for watching.
All right, Scrunch.
Hey, man.